Projects Limited in this 13th National Conference on Boiler and Steam Systems 2022, having the theme of Steam and Boiler System, Importance of Safety, Performance and Cost Optimization Post-COVID. This conference has been organized by Saket Projects Limited, a multidisciplinary company involved in creating knowledge-based platforms through various activities such as publication, conferences, etc. The company, over a period of time, has developed strength and core competencies in the areas of information enhancement and service sector. With a continuous forward-thinking approach, the company has successfully organized events on diverse themes with specialization in industry-specific events. Our sponsors for this conference are ONGC Hazira Plant, Forbes Marshall, Shri Sai Power and Equipments Private Limited, Hertz Testing and Training Center, Industrial Boilers Limited, Triveni Boiler, Swastik Sarjanan Valves Private Limited, Huber Group, Rajdeep Boilers Private Limited. We would also like to mention our supporters, without whose wholehearted support this event would not have been possible. Indian Boiler Manufacturers Association, Gujarat Dyestuffs Manufacturers Association, Indian Drug Manufacturers Association, Gujarat State Board, Gujarat Paper Mills Association, Indian Agro and Recycled Paper Mills Association, Vapi Industries Association, Sarigam Industries Association, Umargam Industries Association, Silvassa Industrial and Manufacturers Association. India is Asia's second biggest energy consumer since 2008, and however, amidst this COVID pandemic, many steam and boiler maintenance businesses could not provide efficient services and faced various issues related to the maintenance routine inspection, which resulted into severe inefficiency issues. Although we have come out of this crisis of COVID successfully, but there are still various unproductive or less productive units that needs our assistance. We hope that this conference shall lead fruitful results for such units and assist them in the best possible manner. With this background, may I now request our esteemed dignitaries to please come upon the dais and occupy their chairs. I request Shri D.L. Pandya sir to escort all our dignitaries. Shri Satyadev Purohit sir, Shri B.H. Patel sir, Shri Amit Vyas, Shri Rohington Engineer. A huge round of applause for all our dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. I request all of you in the audience to please keep your phones on the silent mode so that we can carry out the session smoothly. Allow me to give a small introduction, although our dignitaries does not require an introduction, but allow me to give a small introduction of all of them. Shri Satyadev Purohit is Director Forbes Marshall, India's leading process and energy efficiency firm. He holds responsibility for sales performance of organization-wide business verticals. His expertise spans from identifying the key shortages in the steam and condensate loop of the plant to providing solutions that can garner huge energy saving potential for industries on sustainable basis. His major contribution and strength continues to lie in devising strategies in various changing circumstances of industries utilizing steam. Shri B.H. Patel sir is a graduate in chemical engineering. He started his career as JT at Ashok Organics Industries Limited. Then he joined MTZ Polyfilms Limited. In 2002, he joined Boiler Department as an Assistant Director of Boiler and promoted as a Deputy Director of Boilers. He has served at different locations of Gujarat. Shri Amit Vyas sir, his passion for excellence comes from his experience of working in the era of dairies, just like Dr. Varghese. Shri Amit Vyas is specialized in advanced project management from Institute of Rural Management, Anand. Starting from a chemical company, his career in dairy industry got shaped from Banas in then Sumul Dairy, where he not only gained knowledge and experience, but also installed some landmark technologies and processes. He is a firm adherent of adoption of latest technologies and automation. And lastly, I would like to introduce Sri Rohington Engineer sir. He is a qualified mechanical engineer. He has had his initial training at India's largest power boiler manufacturers, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, in the field of design, manufacturing and quality control of boilers. He is a specialist in efficient energy management and heat transfer and has undertaken numerous studies in this field. Has presented number of technical papers at various seminars and training programs in the field of boiler and energy conservation. And now, without further ado, I would like to request Sri D.L. Pandya, Conference Convener, to deliver his welcome address.
Good morning and welcome to the 13th National Conference on Boiler and Steam Systems, Steamtech 2022. Sri Amit Bhai Vyas, Managing Director, Amul Dairy, Sri Satyadev Purohit, Director, Forbes Marshal, Sri B.H. Patel, Director, Gujarat State Directorate of Boilers, Sri Rohington Engineer, Director, Industrial Boilers Limited, knowledgeable speakers from the industry, current and former directors and technical staff from the Directorate of Boilers, Government of Gujarat, delegate friends, representatives from research institutes, academia, as well as professionals from the industry. It is indeed a great opportunity and a matter of great privilege for us to welcome you all for this consecutive 13th National Conference on Boiler and Steam Systems, the one and the only interactive platform not only in Gujarat but nationally, so well received and being organized for the benefit of the industry for consecutive 13 years. We have today very distinguished professionals and achievers present for the inaugural sessions and a galaxy of speakers during the day. While the chief guest, Srimati P. Bharti, could not make it because of some unavoidable circumstances, we appreciate her moral support by showing willingness to be part of this event earlier. We also acknowledge the support and the guidance from the founder of this event, Sri Jainarayan Vyas, who could also not be present here today because of health challenges. We are very fortunate to have with us Sri Amit Bhai Vyas, Managing Director, Amul Dairy, the pride of nation. As one of the very few professionals having worked in the area of dairy stalwarts like Dr. Varghese Kurian, Sri Amit Bhai has, to his credit, a long list of technical and managerial achievements for pioneering initiatives in the areas of cost savings, energy conservation, automation, digitalization, new product developments, employee skilling, and many more. Sri Amit Bhai has carved the path for Amul to be a customer-centric and quality-conscious organization, contributing to the company's exponential growth. We welcome you, sir, and feel privileged and grateful to you for kindly agreeing to be with us today. We are also fortunate to have with us Sri Satyadev Purohit, Director, Forbes Marshall Group of Companies. Sir, you along with your company Forbes Marshall has remained the backbone of this event consistently for almost all the years since inception. We are sincerely grateful to you and your company and thank you for your kind support and for accepting our invitation to deliver the keynote address today. Our special thanks to Sri Jayesh Shah for his kind support and coordination. Friends, this event would not have been so successful and participative without the guidance and support of all the officers of the Directorate of Boilers, both current as well as the previous officers. We feel grateful to Sri B.H. Patel, Director of Boilers, for his kind presence today. Sri Patel Sahib has to his credit a long and rich experience, not only for more than 2 decades with the Directorate of Boilers, but also in wide spectrum of private industries. We welcome you, sir. We welcome all the current and previous officers of the Directorate of Boilers and thank for creating awareness of this event. Last but not the least, we welcome and thank Sri Rohington Engineer, Director Industrial Boilers Limited, for continuing to be associated with this event consistently. Sir, your invaluable experience and leadership in the Indian boiler industry as well as leadership in various Indian and international industry associations and agencies has contributed a lot towards continuing the growth of this event. We sincerely are grateful to you. Friends, the crippling impact of the coronavirus has been felt across the globe, severely impacting businesses, industries, and people throughout the world. When we look at the steam and boiler industry, the current financial climate has created both fears and opportunities. The growing uncertainties around the pandemic is pushing industries to seek energy system solutions that can survive through lockdowns and curfews, making steam and boiler systems as one of the best energy sources. Despite its overall financial impact, COVID-19 has opened a floodgate of opportunities for the steam and boiler industry. As we very well know, boilers require regular maintenance to continue operating efficiently. Without maintenance, they become less and less efficient and eventually can pose dangers to those working nearby in the form of leaks or even explosions. And one of the aspect industry that has been impacted is maintenance. Many industries must consciously adopt energy efficient options in the wake of coronavirus so that they can rebound quickly. Factories and industries that rely on boilers will be looking for high quality energy efficient boiler systems that can speed up production and help recover losses. Increasing energy efficiency of boilers through regular maintenance isn't just only about saving money, it is also about reducing harm to the environment. And with regards to the ensuring the safety of workers, whether it is installing new steam boilers, treating emergency shutdowns, or tending to the frequent maintenance of energy systems, it has become essential to practice safety measures. This conference, with the theme Importance of Safety, Performance and Cost Optimization, will provide very good insight into effectively managing steam and boiler systems in the new normal. About 15 experts will share the knowledge, experience and vision with about 350 to 400 delegates from various industry segments during the day through presentations, panel discussions as well as question and answer sessions. We are delighted to have very good participation in the award competition also. The participants have been enthusiastic from companies all around the state. We welcome all the dignitaries and delegates and invite you to benefit from this unique opportunity. We also I once again most heartily welcome you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would like to now request Sri Satyadev Purohit, Director, Forbes Marshall, Pune, to share his views and experiences.
Good morning, everybody. Pandyaji, thank you very much. Mr. Patel, Mr. Amit Vyas, Rohington, and all the friends sitting here in the audience. A very good morning to all of you. It's a pleasure to be here in Steamtech after a gap of 3 years. I think the last Steamtech we had was in 2019. And incidentally, it's a great occasion for our company, Forbes Marshall, because we are also completing 75 years in this year. So at this occasion, it's really a pleasure to meet with all of you. Incidentally, as I was recollecting this 75th year of Forbes Marshall, I was also recollecting it is exactly 70 years back that our first boiler was inaugurated in Amul by Dr. Kurian. And our association with Amul has been continuing since then. I think over the past 75 years, Forbes Marshall has been providing innovative solutions to help industries improve their production efficiencies as well as reducing their energy costs. The current environment is very challenging. We are just coming out of a pandemic. There are pressures of climate adherence on us. And in these circumstances, one of the key questions that faces us is how do we make our businesses more sustainable? And how do we adapt to these ever-changing situations that we face on an ongoing basis? And I think at Forbes Marshall, we have always aspired to improve energy efficiency and optimize and reduce energy consumption. I think these two steps help us in any circumstances and also makes our business much more sustainable. In recent times, however, in the past 1 year, as the pandemic started moving away, I think there is one more challenge that has come to the fore, which we are facing currently, and that is the cost of fuel. I think each of us are today facing a cost of fuel that is dramatically different than what it was 1 year back. I was just doing some comparisons. On 1st of April, what was the fuel price, and on 1st of April 2022, what is the fuel price? For coal with GCV of 5,200, 1 year back, the cost of fuel was 6.5 to 7 rupees per kg. Today we are talking about, based on the area and where we are sourcing it from, we are talking about 14 to 17 rupees per kg of coal. Yeah, and this is not just for one fuel. You take rice cars, 3 rupees has gone to 5 rupees. If you take furnace oil, 38 rupees has gone to 60 rupees. If you take gas, 40 rupees has gone to 65 rupees. And then also there are some additional issues that are present. You have to, the 65 rupees is applicable only if you are going to consume within your limits. If you exceed your limit, then the price jumps dramatically. It goes to 120, 150 rupees per SMQ. So I think with these kind of price, I think it's unprecedented. We haven't seen such increases in fuel prices within a span of 8 to 12 months ever. And we have been in this business for 75 years, and these fuel price increases in a span of 1 year are unprecedented. And I think it's very right that we get together like this in forums to deliberate, debate our way forward and how to address and adapt to these challenges. I think an overall impact of 50 to 100% increase in fuel prices is certainly seeing its impact consequently in the steam cost and so also our production costs. We at Forbes Marshall have been working continuously very closely with the industries to provide practical long-term solutions to make their manufacturing practices more sustainable and environmentally responsible. Optimizing processes results in not only lower levels of energy consumption, but it also reduces production costs and makes us environmentally compatible. So when we are dealing with such large fuel price increases, the next question comes, what are the opportunities for us to reduce the cost of, how do we save? How do we reduce the cost impact that this is going to have on our production? And if you look at the opportunities that are existing to improve the efficiency in steam systems, I think I draw from the experience of energy audits that we do, cutting across various industries. And there are many plants which are good plants, there are many plants which are below average. But on an average, when we look at energy audit reports, we are finding that the average savings that can be achieved in the steam systems is of the order of 20%. Yeah? And if you look at the 20% savings that is possible, about 7 to 8% is possible in the process itself, where steam is being utilized for carrying out your dyeing process in textile industry or drying process in the pharmaceutical industry. So 7 to 8% steam reduction can be achieved by running the process better and optimizing the integration between process and utility. 7 to 8% saving even today is possible from condensate recovery. I think we don't realize it today, but the cost of condensate per liter of condensate today is what cost of steam was a couple of years back. And I think there is an additional part of sustainability in terms of recovering water and not allowing water to go to drain. So 7 to 8% savings in process, 7 to 8% savings in the condensate recovery part, and about 5 to 6% saving in improving the boiler efficiency and the distribution losses. So if you put this together, on an average, there is 20 to 21% saving possible in an average steam plant when we go across any industry. One would assume that the return on investment for such savings will be very high, but it is not so. The return on investment for such savings that I'm talking about, this does not include green technology or technologies which today are not commercially viable for most of the process industry to invest in. So these savings can be accrued with an investment, and the ROI on the investment can be somewhere around 12 to 18 months. So it's not really, we are not talking about technologies which are not commercially viable as of today. So if we want to achieve this, the potential is there. We have to do it given the current circumstances. How should we go about achieving this? I think we will hear much more from Mr. Vyas also, because he will be talking from his own personal experience of what has been achieved in Amul, and also from all of you in the coming sessions. But I think first and foremost, we have to become much more specific. We cannot talk about energy in very superficial terms. I think we have to drill down to specific parameters which are important to us. Whether it is the specific fuel consumption, whether it is specific steam consumption per unit of production, whether it is efficiency or steam to fuel ratio in the boiler, whether it is condensate recovery factor, whether it is this equipment level specific steam consumption, I think we have to start becoming more specific and tangible. We should not be very overall and superficial when we are talking about the energy numbers. The more specific we become, the more opportunity we will see. I think if you look at, we do boiler health mapping for the installed base, and we score the boilers in terms of safety, environment, efficiency, and O&M practices. And credit to the way the IBR authorities are enforcing the safety regulations, the safety scores are the highest. But there is huge opportunity to improve the efficiency scores. There is huge opportunity to reduce the environmental impact the boiler emissions are having on our environment. The second step is to understand that steam system design. When you design put a boiler in your plant, when you lay down lines, the steam system design becomes a fixed design. But your process is ever changing. Some processes are batch times, some processes are continuous, but the load on the process is continuously changing. So how does a fixed system, where the pipelines are all defined and line sizes are defined, boiler capacity is designed, How does this fixed system collaborate with a process which is continuously changing? I think this means that we need to understand the steam system and its relationship with the process requirements, and for that there is a huge requirement of having the right diagnostics. Steam flows within pipelines. It's generated in the boiler, it is flowing within pipelines. So from outside to understand what is happening inside the system is very difficult. And it has the same properties of pressure and temperature in both the phases, whether it's a vapor phase or condensate. So to troubleshoot by looking at the steam system from the outside when the things are happening inside the pipeline, we need the ability to visualize what's happening inside the pipeline, and for that we need to have the right diagnostics in place. Once we have the diagnostics in place, we'll realize that we cannot talk absolutes. We have to talk in terms of ranges. And I think to build the design which will enable us to sustain the priorities of the process and reduce the cost of production, we need to integrate right elements of control and automation within the steam system also. Today, most of the steam system requires manual intervention. The more we put control and automation into the system, the more the system will become sustainable. I think at the end, it's all about having the right design, choosing the right technology to fulfill those design requirements, and having the best O&M practices, operation and maintenance practices, to ensure the steam system keeps delivering efficiently for all our plant requirements. I think I look forward to the sessions today, and again, a great pleasure to be with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for this thought-provoking speech indeed. May I now request Shri B.H. Patel, Director of Boilers, Ahmedabad, to deliver his speech.
Very good morning, all of you. Thankful to all the dignitaries here, Mr. Anil Vyas, Mr. Sonavane, Mr. Engineer and D.L. Pandya sir, and all of you. Welcome. Here I am here to give some the things we are doing here in our department and what we expect from you also. It is safety. We all think, we all here and almost 24/7 we are thinking safety, safety, safety. In our home also we are thinking for safety. So that safety, 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 and we are also concerned with safety. Least concerned with the efficiency, to be frankly. As we know, and I heard since long, that boiler is a heart of an industry. I also think so, but it is very fortunate that we can stop our heart in industry without dying the industry. To keep safe boiler or economizer or any steam system, we have to stop it. And overall, the thing to keep it safe. Here, since long, we have taken some steps to serve you better from our department point of view. Since last 3-4 years, we have almost recruited 18 officers in our department, and we have opened 5 new offices in the state. At present, we have 15 offices in the state and serving to the state. We have today in the state of Gujarat, almost 8,000, more than 8,000 boilers have been registered, and more than 6,500 boilers are running, which are regularly monitored and recertified, and almost keep our eyes on all the boilers through you. You means boiler attendant and boiler operation engineers. Second, we have almost going towards digitalization. That is our dream of our Honorable Prime Minister. Almost more than 50% of our activities have been digitalized today. Fee payment almost digitalized and online payments are there. Whatever the applications the owner or the manufacturer has to done, almost IFP portal is there throughout the state. In the year 2018, state government has introduced the self-certification scheme, revive scheme. It was earlier in 2003, but after in 2015, it was scrapped, 2003 scheme, and in 2018 it was reintroduced under section 34(2) of the Indian Boiler Act, and it is proud that during the pandemic it has been very helpful to the owner and industry. More than 100 boilers have been certified by BOE under that scheme. So we can understand the helpfulness of that scheme during the period of pandemic. As Mr. Sonawade said, the energy is becoming very costlier. When energy becomes costlier, it is very difficult to maintain the system, and sometimes it is shown that safety may be compromised. So this is the time that our skill needs here to balance the energy cost and the efficiency and the safety. One another observation from us that nowadays the level of skill is it is not up to our mark. That we have recently experienced in our state. One accident has happened in Vadodara. In the same period, two another accident happened, one in Uttar Pradesh and one in Bihar and one in Tamil Nadu. So all the things what we have observed in three recent accidents, that skill level of the person who is running the boiler or who is attending the boiler, it farly deteriorated or it is not up to our mark. So safety needs skill improvement, skill development, all the things. So owner or the professionals of the company who are here, it is my humble request to train their people. Or recently what we have done also, that we started the cluster training throughout the state. Almost 10 programs we have done in the state. That what we are trying, the ground level, that is attendant. We are just gather the attendants at one boiler, which is well maintained, and we train them on hand. So we have started. You are requested to cooperate also, and you may do that also. So it is from our department. If anything you need to give any suggestion, we are here to listen you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to now request all of our dignitaries to please inaugurate our session and for the lighting of lamp and officially inaugurate this 13th National Conference. I request all the dignitaries to please go forward for lighting of lamp. Now, I would like to request Sri Amit Vyas, a guest of honor, to address the audience with his speech.
First of all, good morning, everyone. It has been a very auspicious day because today is we are celebrating Navratri and today is Ashtami. So let me tell you, on a very auspicious day, this Steamtech 13th National Conference on Boiler and System has been organized by Saket Projects. Let me compliment them for the excellent initiative for this purpose. And on this occasion, Mr. Purohit ji, who's the director from Force Marshal, Shri B.H. Patel sir, who's the director for boilers in Ahmedabad, Shri Rohinji ji, engineer ji, and Mr. Pandya ji and my friend Jayesh bhai here also sitting here, and all my dear friends from the industry. So, first and the foremost thing, let me tell you very honestly, that as we Amul also celebrating 75 years, we completed 75 years, and आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव भी सेलिब्रेट हो रहा है, और साथ साथ आई अंडरस्टैंड फोर्स मार्शल also completed 75 years. What best can happen on this day? Let me be very honest. When this was initiated, this Steamtech was initiated, I was one of them. Almost 12 years back, I was sitting there. So, and that's the learning. Let me tell you, one of the best thing to happen here is the learning which we got from this forum. And the only thing what I understand in this country is that if we learn whatever we learn from the seminars, from the videos, or from the industrial experience of the people, the most important thing is to implement it. And if we really implement, nothing can go wrong. Let me tell you very honestly. And I would like to share, when I talk about dairy, please understand that I may be talking about dairy, but I am talking of an industry. Because I am working in a dairy, I can share my experience of dairy. For last 30 years, I am working with Amul Dairy. The important thing is that we take boiler, I fully agree with Patel Sahab, safety, safety, safety. Yes, safety is the key. The first thing is safety for the boiler. And why boiler? First, we ourselves take care safety of ourselves and our family. And when we are discussing this post-COVID, what we were talking about? Please be safe, please be safe. That's what we were talking about. So we are also, when at home we are talking about ourselves, talking about a family, we need to be, when we are in the industry, whether it is dairy or pharma or chemical or textile or aluminum or rubber, any kind of industry we are working in, the first and the foremost thing is that, when we work in the industry, the safety comes first, without which nothing happens. Nothing happens. In Amul, we have 100% we ensure that the safety of our people, safety of our equipment, safety of our systems needs to be created. The system needs to be created for the safety. That's the key for the success. So I'll just share about you what I just did a small presentation because, to be very honest, after becoming managing director, though I am right now working more on the digitalization aspect of the country for the dairy industry, and very happy to share that Amul is totally digital. When I say digital, means there are no paper across 47 plants in the entire organization. No paperwork. And right from the gate till the payment is been made to the farmer in the farmer's account or to the vendor into vendor's account is host-to-host payment, which is automated, and the reverse, the entry, the reconciliation is also digital. So when you say that, we completed this year on the score of almost around 10,200 crores as Amul Dairy, and you would be surprised that we completed our balance sheet on 3rd of April. Everything was completed. And fourth, our chairman basically gave the speech, and he said that this is the final prices we are giving to the farmers, which used to be in the month of July or August or September. We used to give that. So the beauty of technology, when I'm saying this, because this applies on each and every aspect of the industry. And when I come to boiler, as Patel Sahab rightly said, it's a heart. It's the heart. You know how much money we spent on operating the systems. So I'll just share some of my experience about the industry. As we remember on the 75th year, we always remember Tribhuvan Bhai Patel, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Dr. Kurian and Lal Bahadur Shastri. Basically, they were the pioneers of these. Let me tell you, Amul is nobody's owner. There is no owner in the organization. I say I've got a mobile that has been given to me by a farmer, because they own the organization. So farmer in the country, in the district are running this organization. It's a unique model on which Amul Mart, it's no private, it's no individual proprietary, it all belongs to farmer. So first and the foremost things, Amul, when we talk of Amul pattern, today if I talk about Kera district, we are almost more than 18, we have in Amul pattern 18 districts. In 18 districts we operate. The almost 3.6 million farmers as a GCMMF. So what is this model all about? You know, at the village level, you are the farmers. At the plant level, where I come from, and this is what I'm talking about, Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation is the apex body who sells the product into the market, and then the money comes from the consumer to us, and from there to the plant, and plant to the society, and society to the farmer. So that's the model on which the entire the system is running. And this year, almost 30 million liters, means 3 crore liters of milk per day we handled in the pandemic, which is a unique thing. Nobody can handle, and how it has been successful. That's the most important aspect of it. Once the GCMF is at the top, I'm talking about the dairy where I come from. I'm the managing director of the first dairy plant of the India, that's Amul Dairy. As Mr. Purohit said that almost 70 years back the first boiler was inaugurated. That's true. So now I'm responsible for 47 units across 13 states we operate, and almost 700,000 farmers. As I told you, 5.2 million liters of handling capacity and almost 10,000 crores of turnover this year, and all the system. Now coming to the C2C, we talk about C2C. What is C2C? People talk a lot. We say cow to consumer. And we say B2C means buffalo to consumer. So now in this entire value chain, right from, if you see, from the input services where we talk of animals, then you have the village level societies where almost around in Kera district we have more than 1200 societies and 18,500 across the Gujarat state. Then the milk union where the dairy plants are there. Then you come to the federation GCMMF, and then the depots, and then the entire chain is right now 100% digital, 100% digital. Not a single place. Now you say that, sir, when you're talking about the animals, how they are digital. So the way we are Fitbit, we have Fitbit for animal right now. And we capture the data from that, and it's been 100% through the system. Now why I'm saying this is that if you understand, I'm talking about my raw inputs right now. I'll come to the plant and the boiler aspect later. But the most important aspect is that if you see this animal as a process, and then how you understand the process and what are the inputs and the efficiencies in the system. When we talk of boiler, we talk of having a good safety system, good automation, good water feed, good gas, good LDO, some chemicals to be added in. That's the process that you define. But when you understand the process, let us not take boiler as a boiler. Let us take boiler as a process. And then the process, that's a process. Like I am from dairy industry, so dairy has pasteurizers, separators, homogenizers, all those things. That's a process. So how best we integrate each and every process to ensure the higher efficiency, and that's what we are going to talk today on this. Now, on the model which I personally work for last 30 years is a very simple model. I work on PDCA cycle. It's a very simple plan, do, check and act. But if you see my 30 years of career, this is what I learned and I will present in all my forums, is one on the energy saving potential and one is the cost. Now if you see, if you use the rational use of the resources, your energy potential saving is very less, and the investment is also less. So here I am talking about just maintaining the boilers, just maintaining cleanliness. The operators, as Patel Sahab said, that see the training and the skill requirements are there, the basic skills are there, you are able to at least maintain the good condition of the boiler. At least cleaning itself, like you have got a blower inside it, and then you see that a filter been placed and it has got dust on it, and then you talk that we are not getting good efficiency. So these are the basics. So basically we say, when if you use rationally the rational use of the resources, your efficiency, you will get some saving in it. And if you improve the housekeeping, or you just go on looking at it, you know, people start talking, go directly onto the top, equipment change. Sir, isko badal dete hain. You know, we go to our bosses, say, sir, ye badal denge to efficiency bach jayegi. No, I am the last person to change the equipment, change the boiler. First, get the best out of it. Get the best things, what improvement that we can do in the process. And it will, you have to do the ROI, as Purohit sir really said, right thing, that we need to go for the ROI. But, and I'm telling you, equipment change would give a lot of, if you say the graph, energy potential saving, but and the cost involvement will be very high. Why should we do it? And the process modification, if you see in the center, I personally believe, and maximum work which needs to be done in the industry for the boiler or in the processes is the process modification. As he said, that pipeline, you need to know, you know, process goes on changing, the headers are the same. How do you do that? So that's where we really need to work. And I'm telling you, after learning from this forum or getting knowledge from this forum, please try to implement after going there at the field, at your shop, and then you will find that yes, if we can do this, this can happen. And no management will say no to you. I'm telling you, no management will say no. If you are ready to deliver what has been committed, it will happen. I'm telling you, we have worked with Jayesh Bhai and Mr. Purohit ji, and every industry we work, because we have got boiler from all the people. They give the right advice. But our thinking is, to be very honest, we go for the cost. Ki kitna paisa lag jayega? Paisa kitna lag jayega? That is not important. We need to understand what is the ROI. छोटी छोटी चीजें होती हैं, मतलब बता रहा हूं आपको, it's very, very simple, and we just ignore them. I'll give an example of steam trap, very honestly. You know, today in Amul Dairy, we have got a system, it's a digital system, to see the traps are numbered, the traps are in the system, and you know, the person going there has to do the scanning of the QR code at that place, and it will automatically get open that whether this is correct or not. You know, the checklist, earlier we used to take the paper and do it. We don't do that. It is just select it, and if it is not, then the message goes to the repairer that okay, you do this and he's accountable for it. It's a very simple system, does not require any money, let me tell you. No paper also. It's the beauty of the technology and the beauty of mobile you just need to use it, apart from WhatsApp, Facebook and Twitter and all those things. Really, very honestly. So if we do that, let me tell you, material substitution, as many of the suppliers, I know Mr. Engineer also can agree to that, that if you can change the boiler with some modification and get it into some other, apart from gas or diesel or anything, can we go and briquette or coal to bring down the cost? That is also possible. So we need to understand where we fall under this category. If I'm telling you very honestly, all those sitting there, please follow this graph and try to put what are the rational use of resources or improved housekeeping or recycle and reuse. Recycle and reuse is what about condensate? How do you reuse the condensate back into the system? If you use that, obviously the cost is going to go down. So these are the things which we really need to work, and if you really start working on it, I can tell you, nobody can stop you in giving you the, you know, your cost will go down, profits will go up. Ultimately what we say, today in the country, we are paying highest price to the farmer, not in the country but in the entire world. How it is possible? When the prices of raw materials are high, as he said, the gas going up to 100, 120 years, the coal going up to 14, 15. How you would do this? It's very difficult. So that's where we need to improve our systems, and with small modification and the graph which I have shown you, if you implement it, I can tell you results will come. This is what you see is Amul Dairy. As you know, energy sources are the coal, light diesel, furnace oil. Yes sir, with the government making it mandatory, we were the first people to stop furnace oil. And my team had come to me saying, sir, it is going to be a big loss, this, that. I said, we have to protect the environment. Who's going to protect the environment? We need to take initiative to protect the environment. So we stopped furnace oil straight away. And then immediately all our plants are now on LDO. Though it is a cost. But how you improve the efficiency, how you can protect the environment, ultimately we need to protect the environment. It's not that we cannot do anything, sir, boiler hai, humko to nahi milta hai, kuch nahi kar sakte. No, we need to work on it. You can improve the efficiency apart from that. So, and that's where we work with coal, natural gas, LDO and solid fluid in the dairy. Now, if you see the power and fuel of a typical dairy industry, I'm just sharing the dairy industry. we are almost power and fuel is 2%. Now what you are supposed to do, don't look at my graph, I am saying you prepare your graph. And then you realize that, okay, the total material consumption in the process this much, but power and fuel constitute about 2% of my total business. Now if you go further into that, what is the power and fuel cost? If you see the power and fuel cost, electricity cost is 39%, the rest is the fuel cost. So that you need to further work. Then you go to the fuel, where that fuel is getting utilized, and then you realize that boiler takes 60% of that, and the gas engines is 9 and 32% in the powder plant. So what I'm trying to prove, what I'm trying to share is that from there, when you generate the steam, the milk powder is the area where maximum energy is going. Now why I have shown you this? Don't think this, don't learn from, it's a dairy, forget about dairy. The point here is that from your finance department, get the data. As you are in the process, you know how much steam you are consuming, how much. For that, the most important thing is that you need to go for all the instruments in the plant. The first and the foremost thing to make anything successful, I'm an instrumentation engineer, I always believe that if you measure something, then only you can take some decision. And the decision will only come if you try to put up like for gas flow meter or you put up a steam flow meter or put up a water flow meter. At least ये तीन लगा दीजिए, at least you will come to know क्या चल रहा है organization. And it is possible, it is not that it's not possible. And it is not a big costly affair. You need to just put all those things at place, collect the data, and now the technology is so advanced with I don't talk of artificial intelligence, I say Excel में डालो, उसको sorting करो, पता चलेगा क्या चल रहा है. That's all. And we know everything on this. So I would request all of you to kindly understand this and try to implement why energy efficiency, why energy efficient boilers are required. As we know, there's the price of natural gas, as he already said, it's skyrocketing, diesel, but we don't have any option. So we need to work on what we are doing. So steam generation, let me tell you, I'll go step by step. And you please look into your mind that what exactly you are using it. Now, if you see natural gas receiving station, what we have done, the safety, sir, I fully agree that the first step is safety. So from where the gas is coming or the LDO is coming, if you see, we have put up a flow meter, gas detection, flame-proof system, and we are maintaining it. Again, go to that graph, housekeeping. If you maintain that, if you have ensured all these things are at place, things are bound to improve. If you go further, we use LDO. So what we have done, tanker earthing system, it's a safety measure and it doesn't cost much. But it can cause hazards, it can cost a big, a problem if you don't do that. But only thing is that we need to implement it and we need to tell our management. Now, the third thing is the gas is one part. The second is the improved boiler efficiency. See, in Amul, what we have done is, we have tried to do it in the old system. We are 75 years old organization right now. You expect us to get big shed with the top class facilities. Sir, you can modify your system. Earn it, use it, and then modify the entire system. So what we have done, boiler feed water or feed control panels. See, we have done, these are the bottom photographs, what you see, like solar-based feed water system. This is what you can do anywhere, anytime you can do it. If it is possible, it's better to do it so that if you don't have the process, hot water coming in back to the boiler as a condensate, recovery is one part. If it is not happening, try to use solar system. Today we have put up an electric heat pump. We have got one electric heat pump. I happened to do the presentation in Japan in climatic change, and we have done it for the first time in the country where the water with CO2, you get a lot of heat. You have to go up to 200 bar, and then this water temperature goes up to 90 degrees. Sir. So we are now in Mogar chocolate plant, we are utilizing this 90 degree water back into the system. So we need to identify the different processes where we can use that thing. If you see biogas utilization, what we did, see, as he said that the costs are increasing, what to do? So our process is like when you use the effluent that gets generated, we have converted into gas by putting up a small digester. From that gas, if you see the third photograph, is a bio utilization of the heat of the photo. We have put up a small, for CIP system, a small boiler. Just put the gas inside, heat it, and then take the water inside the plant. Who says you need to go for a 15-ton boiler, 10-ton boiler, 5-ton boiler? We have now changing the concept of going for process-wise heating system. If your requirement is localized, try to be local in that area. And maybe your boiler may be working at a capacity, that's not a problem. Understand your process and try to take the decision based on that. And the good thing is now that what you see the tank, today we have made a capacity of 400,000 liters also. With the new technology coming, it's a just plug in and place it, is almost the condensate storage tank that we have now created across the organization. Whatever condensate generated comes back to the tank and then we start utilizing it in the boiler. And then the increased feed water temperature, as he said, that how can you do that? Just put up a deaerator. People come from the industry, from those who are manufacturers, they always talk to you that why don't you do it? But we say, nahi, nahi, ye to possible nahi, kya fayda hoga, kaise? But I'm telling you, these are all the results that you can do by increasing temperature from 65 to 101 in that area. Then when you come to boiler house, there's a boiler house of Amul Dairy only, and if you see, it is like, you will find that it's the process. It is like a dairy process. The boiler is like a dairy process today. So we can always understand the process, and that's where now as we see that the boiler accessories and all, the control room, I'll show you the control room. You can see the control room. And what we have done, we have put up cameras also for the safety purpose across the boiler house. And then the person is monitoring from camera also. So the technology today, earlier, the camera technology is very high. Abhi aaj ki tarikh mein aapko 5,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees when you get cameras. Why don't you put it in for the safety purpose, that this data can come to you and then you can take actions based on that. Obviously, as Mr. Purohit rightly said, sir, without automation, nothing can be achieved. Manual processes and let me tell you, बहुत ज़्यादा investment करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. There are so many companies in Gujarat that they would come to you, they will just put up the sensors and low cost automation can be done. I'm not talking about a big money to be spent on the boilers. Please try to automate small processes across it's because it's a process. So if you automate that process, results are bound to come. So if you will do that, that will be. And as I told you, like flow meter, steam flow meter, water flow meter, electric motor, all those meters can be placed so that the measurement is there. Once you measure it, then you can take a decision. So that's also important. Safety interlocks, as rightly said, those are the key. There's no compromise on that. In the organization, you should ensure that if safety is not there, you should not compromise. Nothing, zero tolerance policy for that. And obviously the performance. Once you have the data, see the beauty of the system today. अगर आप देखते हैं ना, अगर आप Facebook में कोई अगर site खोलते हैं, Facebook में देखते हैं, what happens? You start getting those things to you straight away, because they capture the data. Now once you capture the data, performance, obviously you can do whatever way you want. क्या करना है आपको, you do it, but results will come in that case. Okay, so why the importance of the quality steam हमने बोला है. तो आपको you have to ensure and go with good quality equipments. Again, you may get low cost equipments like valves आपको मिल जाएंगे, but अगर वो लीक हो रहा है तो आपका कॉस्ट कितना बढ़ रहा है. And you, as he said ना, पाइपलाइन में स्टीम जा रही है, पता नहीं है, वाल्व लीक हो गया तो पता नहीं है कि वाल्व लीक हो गया है. So it's a cost to the organization. So ultimately the most important aspect is get the right equipment for your processes. Study it, evaluate it, check it, perform it, use it, and then if it is okay, please standardize the equipment for your processes. Obviously the next step is to obviously the solid fuel boiler or the briquette based boiler. These are if you have money at the initial stage, try to go with such kind of boiler. Try to put it there and bring down your cost of steam. Today, let me tell you what we have done. This is a boiler in Kapriwa plant. It's a far-off plant. And what we have done, we have given it on total contract that the briquette they are supposed to bring, they would make it. We'll just buy steam from them, though the equipment are ours. So we pay for the steam, rest all the things that needs to be taken care by the operational maintenance person. And we ensure with digitalization, we ensure the 100% utilization, means the process is perfectly 100% automated. Okay. Now coming to the distribution, that was a boiler house, but when you do, as he said, the distribution system with safety and all the precision needs to be done. In the processes also, please ensure, क्या करते हैं हम लोग, वो बताए बॉल वॉल लगा देते हैं कई बार, और सिंपल लगा के लेकर चलो लगा दिया, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, स्टीम में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लीकेज होगा दूसरा लगा देंगे. Please avoid those things. Use the right equipment at the right place, and I'm telling you, nothing can help, nothing can change. The results are bound to come for that. If you go further in the after distribution, please understand your process where the steam is getting utilized. And once you understand where the steam is getting utilized, please provide all the good equipments to ensure that the heat transfer rate is very good in your equipment. Once you have that, obviously your recovery is bound to come, your money is bound to be saved, and no boss of yours can say no, you should not go for the investment. He will say no, go ahead. मना नहीं करेगा बॉस कभी भी, अगर आपको रिजल्ट्स दिखेंगे. And that our results भी कब दिखेंगे? Selection of the equipment is perfect. That's the key for the entire success of all this. And what you see here, the steam utilization in milk process and reception, if you see, we have done the process very meticulously, calculated everything, used the right equipment or the right things at the right place to get the best efficiency. क्योंकि हम technically what stalling condition वगैरह सुनते हैं, stalling सब सुनते हैं, but you avoid that condition. Then only results will come. As I told you in CIP now, this is one of the best. In UST also, we have a ultra high treatment process there where we control the steam. So condensate recovery system is the key for the success, let me tell you. And today in Amul, not a single drop from any of the steam trap goes to drain. 100% recovery, मैं boiler में नया पानी डालता ही नहीं हूँ. The same water gets circulated in the system, and the good thing about us is, sir, because we take out water from the milk also. So we use that water also into the system. So there's no, and we, so see, the point here is, as we were talking about the cost, you need to understand from where I can get this. हम पाउडर बनाते हैं तो दूध को इवोपरेट करते हैं कंडेंसिंग प्लांट में. दिस इज वन फोटोग्राफ ऑफ कंडेंसिंग प्लांट. उस कंडेंसिंग प्लांट में से एक तो डायरेक्ट स्टीम होती है, वो कंडेंसेट आ गया, बट जो दूध है उसका पानी भी तो खींचते हैं हम, और हम उसमें टर्बिडिटी मीटर लगा के, और उसका फिर आप यू कैन सी द नीचे फिल्ट्रेशन प्लांट्स वगैरह लगा दिए हमने. सी दीज हैव बीन डन बाय माय टीम ओनली just to save, because they had that we need to bring down our cost. और ये जो आप फिल्टर देख रहे हो, ये देख रहे हो ना, पुराने टैंक्स के अंदर रिजिन डाल के, सैंड डाल के, उसको डाल के, एंड वी हैव मॉडिफाइड दिस. वी हैव नॉट परचेज बिग इक्विपमेंट, बिग कॉस्ट. आई एम द लास्ट पर्सन टू इन्वेस्ट इन दैट. आई टोल्ड यू द इक्विपमेंट चेंज लास्ट है, सबसे लास्ट में. व्हाट मॉडिफिकेशन वी कैन डू इन द प्रोसेस कैन गिव यू द रिजल्ट्स. सो कंडेंसेट रिकवरिंग, ऐसी राइटली सेट, गेटिंग द राइट ट्रैप. किसी को भी बोलेंगे ना वो नॉर्मल वाली लगा दो यार, वो वाली ट्रैप लगा दो, हो जाएगा, पर वो ट्रैप वहां लगती नहीं है. फ्लोट टच चाहिए, वहां फ्लोट ही लगेगी. बट वी डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. So industry, these manufacturers, they come to you, they tell you, they give you free services, please utilize them. Many of the suppliers, they do give very good services. Please use those services and get your efficiency, get the audited, and obviously the results are bound to come. So step towards green energy. We said that now we have put almost more than 500 biogas plant at the village level itself, and we are trying to utilize that gas at source only. And sir, recently we had people from Maruti. And the director wanted to meet me. I said, what is that? Why you want to meet us? And they said that director from Japan has come to meet me and says that you are the best source of energy in the country. Gas. And I knew that what he was going to talk about. And now we are working, we are just trying to do the pilot and understand. Now we have put up these gas balloons in the villages. Another 600 are coming up, and individual houses. So gas at source will be utilized by the farmers. Right now they have started using it. But what to do with the surplus gas? So we are trying to get a balloon out of it, put it on their tractor. The way we collect it in the milk in the village, everybody brings their બાલડો લેકે આતે ડોલચું લઈને આવે એમ કહીને અને દૂધ આપે. એવી રીતે we said that why can't we get gas in a balloon form at a station in the village level cooperative society, and then they can pump it into their tanker and then take it and process it, and then they can have a distribution center for biogas that becomes a bio CNG. So that's what we are now doing. What you see here is the Amul green concept. What you see on the left side is the balloon. Whenever you are traveling from Ahmedabad to Mumbai, you will find this on the road, on the side, and this balloon gets the raw gas from a effluent. And we generate that, we process it, make it bio CNG to the tune of almost 95%, take it into the skid, use it for our bakery business. So why Amul is sustainable? Why Amul butter is most cheapest in the country? And nobody can have more than 80% of market share. In ice cream, we have almost 70% of market share. Milk, almost 60% of market share. Why? Because we have been able to bring down our cost in every aspect of our operations. So you also identify where you can use your energy into the system, and that's what we talk about, that if we go for a circular economy, this is a circular economy, that from the field to the dairy plant, and ultimately going for the fertilizer also. Now we are organic fertilizer we have done. The entire value chain, wherever you can use it, try to use this, and whatever water getting generated out of it is basically used for the gardening purpose. Let me tell you, if you keep water like this, you can drink that water. To that level, we have clarified the water to, and this is across all the across 47 plants. Wherever you go, anytime, 24/7, anybody can visit. And no, even GPCB visits, they are sure that the product quality or the water quality coming out is from the Amul is perfect. So that's where the systems are. So if you work in totality, what are the results that you get? Let me tell you, 2012, sir, for specific energy conservation, which specific energy consumption, you know, most of the people don't understand what is specific energy consumption. I'll just like to take 1 more minute for you. SEC, अगर आप जानना चाहते हैं ना, please go to your accounts department, tell them कि पिछले साल हमने कितना गैस खरीदा है, और आपके पास प्रोडक्शन का डेटा है, डिवाइड करके just find it out कि हुआ कितना, उससे चालू करो. बाद में मेजरमेंट तो बाद में आएगा. Then you know where you stand. So I remember joining this plant in 2012 was 40 SCM of gas was utilized for per metric ton of our product. Today we are at 16.9. So you can understand how we have been able to achieve this target. And no modification. We have not changed the boiler, by the way. अभी तो बॉयलर चेंज नहीं किया है. एक बॉयलर तो वो का वही है अभी हमारा. इंप्रूवमेंट सिस्टम्स के अंदर करे हैं, जहां नई रिक्वायरमेंट आई प्रोसेस की वहां बॉयलर लगाए हैं. बाकी पुराने बॉयलर्स की एफिशिएंसी को, सिस्टम्स को इंप्रूव करके, that's where if you see power and also in the water. So ultimately what we are doing, we are reducing the CO2 emission. I'm just talking this CO2 emission when I'm talking is only based on your only FO or the gas. You can see how much quantum of environment we have been able to protect. So ultimately what happens? You get recognition. I'm happy that I'm here. And finally we got the National Energy Conservation Award by the government, National Power. So this is what you achieve when you try to do something for the organization, for the country, and for our Mother Earth. So once again, thank you very much for patiently listening. Thank you.